So this is an Emma the A-hole post from a woman. This particular post was posted on Facebook, and it's very interesting to see the difference between the comments on Facebook and the comments on the actual subreddit. So I'm going to start out with the comments on Facebook. So here's the post. She says, "Am I the a-hole for not taking care of my boyfriend's pets after I told him I wouldn't?" So she didn't take care of the pets because she said that she wasn't going to. Okay, so that's the title. She says, "My boyfriend has wanted to get chickens and goats for years. I've always told him that he could if he wanted to, but I wouldn't be helping him with them. I work full time. I do all the cooking and cleaning and take care of our current pets. 4 cats and 3 large dogs, 2 of which are elderly and 1 that's diabetic. And I'm not interested in taking on more. I've made this clear to him that if he got more animals, they would be his sole responsibility. We live on a third of an acre in the suburbs. I don't think this is enough room for them, and I've told him that. Well, he got 6 chickens and 2 goats. So far, he's been the one taking care of them, but recently had to travel for work and be gone for 4 days. He asked if I would take care of them, and I said no. And when he asked what he was supposed to do, I told him to hire a pet sitter or something, basically to figure it out. Well, he leaves for his work trip and texts me a list of what to do for his chickens and goats while he's away. I called someone that's pet sit for us before and asked if she'd be interested. She agreed for an extra fee because it's last minute and that's a lot of animals. I sent her his list and paid her rate up front from my boyfriend's fund money account. I'm on his accounts because I also do the bills and budgeting. It came to $475 plus I tipped her 50, so $525. He called me pissed off saying I should have either taken care of them or used my own money, and he expects me to pay him back. I refused. Maybe I shouldn't have used his money without saying anything, but I don't think that. I'm sorry, maybe I shouldn't have used his money without saying anything. For that, I think I may be the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for using my boyfriend's money to pay a pet sitter for his animals without his knowledge or consent? Absolutely not, because you could have left those animals to fend for themselves. He left his animals, those animals were his responsibility. You were clear about your no, but he said, forget your no, forget you. No, hold on. He said, forget your no, forget those animals. And he really thought that you were going to give in. I absolutely do not believe this woman is the a-hole. Her boyfriend is the a-hole for leaving the animals and just assuming that she would just fall in line. So like I said, this was cross-posted on Facebook. Alexandria said, as a person who's lived on a farm for most of my life, goats and chickens would have been pretty low maintenance for her. It's not like she would have had to clean out their stalls or something while he's gone. All she'd have to do is feed and water them once a day for 4 days. It takes all of 5 minutes. But that is not the point. She said she wasn't doing it. She said if you got these animals, they would be your responsibility and to figure it out. It doesn't matter that it would only take 5 minutes, because soon as she starts to do it, he's going to let her continue to do it because he is obviously not giving a damn about these animals. He should have taken the time to, hire his pet sitter or whatever on his own. And that's what Amber says. Not her problem. She was clear as day from the beginning, and yet she still took some responsibility and found them a pet sitter. Not that I would, but she could have let them starve. They aren't her responsibility, and he knows it. She said no when he asked her to watch them, and he acted entitled by just letting her anyway. Absolutely not. So we had that woman saying, just do it. It only takes 5 minutes. Now we have a man saying her refusing was the entitled act. So she can't say no. To say no means she's entitled. You support each other in a relationship. This is why you guys can't keep a man. If the story was flipped, you'd be on the man's case for not being willing to help. He had an effing business trip. She just proved she's not wife material. Because when you say no, you're supposed to listen. This man is not husband material because he's not honoring her no. He's pushing past the boundary. And that's what Kelly said. Holding a boundary is not entitlement. She's doing everything else already. Sarah says she works full time and does 100% of the household care. He is the entitled one. Amanda says, blah, blah. This from people who can't even take care of themselves properly. In her story, she works full time and still does the majority of the chores. Maybe if he did more with what they already have, he wouldn't need effing chickens and goats. F that. You start a project, that's your project. I thought men were all about being independent, anyways. Why do men always need someone to help? Diane says, I think a reasonable person would do it for a short period while he is away. So saying that she is unreasonable. Considering he's doing the care the rest of the time. That's what love is. We support each other's dreams, even if they are something as dumb as goats and chickens, but there's no law saying you have to be a reasonable person. I do not like these takes over on Facebook. Tiana says, I feel like if she had done it for the 4 days he was gone, he'd expect her to keep doing it even after he came back. Nancy says, exactly, whiny voice. But you did it before. Slippery slope. Jan says, I get the impression that he doesn't do his share of housework. That's what I'm seeing too. He doesn't do his share of housework, and she's getting burnt out with the 4 cats and 3 dogs she's already taken care of. So he needs to take care of the chickens and the goats. It's ridiculous to have all of that on a third of an acre. Isobel says he wanted them. She gave her opinion, and he still went ahead. It is not her responsibility. Megan says she did support him. He wanted goats and chickens. She didn't. She let him get them as long as he cared for them himself. He didn't hold up his end of the compromise. Samantha says she set a clear boundary. He intentionally and deliberately broke it, not the a-hole. Poor choices create poor outcomes. Now he's learned she will hold him accountable to his word and that she isn't a pushover. Rose says, I love that. Most people would have folded. Vale says he was seeing what he could get away with because he wanted them to be her daily responsibility too. Okay, so some of these people are reasonable. Some of them were not. Some of the men and women were like, she should have just done it. I do not believe that those people were reasonable people, but you would need to weigh in on what you think. Over on the post, they were saying not the a-hole. Archie Angel said he did ask. OP said no. He still decided to put it on OP. He's lucky OP scheduled a pet sitter using his money instead of selling or giving away all the abandoned animals while he was gone. Tater Tot Nacho says, boyfriend thought if he didn't do anything, OP would handle the pets. Well, she did, just not in the way that he expected. There we go. At the bottom it says, well, it sounds like he has a strategy that's working as far as the housework. There we go. She is doing everything already, and she really needs to stop that as it is. But he's like, whatever, she's going to do it, and this time she just didn't do it the way he wanted her to. So Fart Master Champ says, not the a-hole. Why did you do everything around the house and with the animals before he got these new animals? You don't see the problem here? That he makes you do everything while he sits back and relaxes? Why are you being this guy's maid? And to that says, if I waited for him to do something, then it would never get done. I've lived alone before we got together, so I was used to doing it all anyway, and he works longer hours, so it seemed fair at the time. I came into the relationship with 2 of the cats, and he had a dog, but then his dog started to love me more, so he got another, and then the new dog liked me more. Same with the cats. So this man sounds like a user. He sounds like he doesn't give a damn. He says, whatever, I'm going to dump this responsibility on you. It sounds like the same thing that they do as far as when you get kids with a person like this, except he's doing it with the animals. Anyways, I'm gonna stop it there. Most of the people over on on the a-hole subreddit said no, she's not the a-hole. I just thought it was very interesting to see the comments over on Facebook and how different they were. Y'all go ahead and weigh in. Let me know what you think. Is she the a-hole? Is she not the a-hole? I believe I know what y'all are going to say, but go ahead and weigh in anyway. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.